People love this shirt. Go ahead.
I got an amendment to that. I've got your back. I've got your torso also. Come on, man.
Perfect.
That's good.
A mind fuck is a...
That's okay.
I can say it?
Yeah.
Are you gonna bleep it?
Mr. Evans fits the criteria of a malignant narcissist. Acts of rage frequently involving the attentions of a woman.
You look so beautiful when you sleep. When I was in prison, I thought a lot about you.
Colin, I tried to wait.
No, you didn't.
There's violence in this man.
Your parole is denied.
We've seen a lot of characters, a lot of sociopaths like this in movies. But you managed to give this one a bit more dimension than they usually get. And because, you get a good idea of this guy's sociopathic behavior very early on. It just creates a lot of tension. How did you work to make this particular character stand out from so many others in the genre?
That's a great question. If I'm honest, I watched Cape Fear. Robert De Niro's character in that was so, three-dimensional and deep and dark and it's terrifying. And, if I'm honest, we wanted to have a similar impact on the audience with films like, thrillers like Cape Fear that really kept you on the edge of your seat and believable characters. So for me, the idea was to sort of humanize a monster, make him almost relatable, make his thought process, someone in the audience is going, I've gotten that angry where, and it could have taken an easy spill. I'm hoping no one's violent and no one wants to be that violent, but the truth is, I was trying to make sure that people kind of could relate to his thought process. And to him, this is a guy that woke up in the morning optimistic that he might get out of jail this morning, but he didn't. And it started to spiral. And that was my way in.
Mm-hmm. You kind of know your character's in trouble when he tells the parole board, "I'm a changed man," and it's like he didn't see the Shawshank Redemption. Didn't work for Morgan Freeman.
Didn't work for Morgan Freeman. It wasn't gonna work for Colin.
No, but the other thing, I was talking with Sir Ben Kingsley a couple days ago, and he had mentioned that when it comes to playing villains, it's important to find the wound of the character and play on that. Yeah. Was that the case for you here?
Absolutely, yeah. Because one of the things, insecurity is massive in this guy's life, and he's also out of touch with reality. Mm-hmm. He went to jail for doing something really stupid and hasn't moved on from there, and that's not reality. And I also wanted to really look at sort of his psychosis. What's going on in his mind. He doesn't really have a trigger. He doesn't know how to stop. This is something that keeps going, and in his head he's getting closer and closer to his goal, but I think he's lost sight of his goal at some point. So I think, Sir Ben Kingsley, of course, who's played some fantastic villains, and he does do that. He does make them real for the audience. Like, man, I get him.
With a character like this, you also have to convince the audience as much as you have to convince the other characters.
Yes.
And does that make it more challenging for you in that regard?
Yeah, just playing with someone like Taraji, who's a smart businesswoman, she's like, I wouldn't open the door to you in real life, but in our film she does open the door, and that's important that you believe that. And we played on that. We thought about that chemistry between her and I. We talked about how fragile she is when her husband leaves and suddenly this dark stranger comes on the door and he's kind of like in need of help, and she just needs some she needs some adult connection. So we talked about all of that. It's important to show the audience to see the mechanics of what's going on here.
No, that's great the way you pulled that off. And
Thank you.
I do have to ask you about if you could give us any information on Pacific Rim 2 or the Luther movie.
Well, Pac Rim 2, I've just heard that they announced they're going to make another one, and I didn't know that, and that's great. Obviously, in the first one, my character didn't make it, so who knows what happens. I don't think my character's going to be there. But, it's going to be great, Pac Rim 2. And then, the Luther movie is coming. We haven't quite announced it, but I think we're definitely going to make another TV installment. The understanding of that is whether we do it as a series or we do it as a 2-hour special. That's what I think might happen, and actually try and guide in the audience towards a movie.
Great. Yeah. My dad introduced me to Luther, and I just really got a kick out of it.
Oh, nice one, man.
And as for Pacific Rim 2, I'm guessing that the drift might bring your character back.
There you go, some Obi-Wan Kenobi type
Yes,
thing. Yeah, man.
exactly. Did you have a large hand in shaping the character when it came to the script?
Not really. That's why I was drawn to this script, because it was a good script. And usually in a good script, the characters are well developed. So I just had to be creative and add a little more to the backstory to make the why she answered the door believable. But other than that, everything was pretty much in the script.
Yeah. Speaking of this scene with the door, when you let him in, it's I think that was very well handled in the sense that she doesn't just let him in right away.
No.
No.
Well, first of all, she's expecting her best friend to be at the door,
Exactly.
not him. So that's why she even goes to the door.
Right.
But the why she let him in is the what I had to get to. And
Yeah.
I believe it's because where she was mentally when you first meet her, with the bored with her life, overworked, stay-at-home mom. The husband doesn't, give her as much attention as he should. So a lot of her thinking and thought process came out of where she was.
Yeah. It's hard out here for a mom.
Yeah, it is.
Had to say it. But yeah, I mean, did you work on that scene a lot? The door scene with Elba a lot? Because
Did we work on it a lot? Not really. No.
Oh,
We
okay.
we do the same old. You get there, you rehearse the scene, you block it, and then you shoot it until everybody feels like they got it.
Oh, okay.
But there was no we didn't have time.
Right.
We couldn't. It just was, we only had a short amount of time with him because he was on his way to go do Mandela.
That's right. Oh, so
Yeah.
this was before Mandela.
Yeah, this was right before Mandela.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. It was very believable the way she finally did it because, it scenes like that, it can be like, no, don't do that. But, when she finally does, it makes sense.
And that's the only way you keep an audience. I mean, if you start the movie off with her being dumb, then no one's going to care about her.
Exactly.
They're going to be like, please kill her. She's stupid.
The other thing I like is that early on she used to work in as an assistant DA, and that she knows a lot about criminal psychology, and that sort of allows her to play a formidable mind games with Elba's character. And did you do a lot of research into criminal psychology?
When you're screwing with someone's brain, it doesn't matter what you do. You know what I mean? Or what you've done or what your profession was. But yes, because she was a district attorney, she's pretty a professional at it. But I think that that has a little to do with her being able to rise to the occasion to defend herself with him. But I think more importantly, it was the fact that her children was in danger and that she made a bad choice. And now I have to get me and my family out of this. So she did whatever she had to do. Whether it was playing mind games with him, stabbing him up, trying to escape, she just exhausted all of her resources to save herself and her family.
Yeah, it was riveting watching her
Thank
pull
you.
that off.
Thank
I
you.
thought all those brains you've got, you would have figured out the game you're playing by now.
Terry, are you here? You've reached 911.
Hello, yes. There's an intruder in my house.